The AFL Yank back here again in time for my round six tips for the 2023 AFL season. Did pretty well this for the first ever gather round ever, and of course it's going to be in South Australia for another 3 years. So yeah, got 6 out of 9 tips correct. Crom ended up beating Carl then. Suns beat Frio. I tipped the Suns in an upset win over Frio, but obviously Frio ended up winning. And then I tipped the D's to beat Essendon, and they surprisingly beat them. And it's another year of that weird trend where Essendon they're really freaking good one year, and then all of a sudden they look like Premiership contenders one year, and then they just drop off the next. It's just crazy to think about. Yeah, 6 out of 9 tips correct. The tips I got right were Swans, Lions, Port, Geelong, GWS, and Collingwood. See, I gotta say I did pretty well this round, and we're gonna get to the round 6 tips. See, first game, it's gonna be at Optus. No Thursday night game this week. It's it's of course gonna be the Friday night matchup: Frio versus the Western Bulldogs. Of course, the Dockers, they're coming off that massive close win against Gold Coast, and the Western Bulldogs obviously coming off the loss against Port. I'd say both of these sides right now, I think they're on par with each other. Like, they've been a mixed bag of performances as of late. But I feel like in my eyes, with the home advantage, I think Frio has the opportunity to even up their record. And I'm gonna go Dockers to win. I'm gonna go Dockers to actually win this in a close game. I think by 9 points. So yeah. But yeah, Frio, they've been a mixed bag so far this year. They were looking pretty bad like the first couple of rounds, and then they've finally gotten things around, and they're looking pretty decent. Still, though, I think they're gonna have a bit of a flag hangover this year, in my eyes, with how they've been performing as of late. Then at Adelaide Oval, it's Port versus the West Coast Eagles. There is no doubt in my eyes I'm going Port for this game. The Eagles are basically tanking this year. They're just absolute bottom of the barrel in terms of performances as of right now. And Port, they've been a mixed bag this year, but they're actually looking pretty solid this year, I gotta say. But yeah, I think this should be an easy win for Port. I think I'm going to go a 43-point win to really boost their flag percentage. I think Port actually has a very good shot at making the 8th this year. I think it's really possible. I think both Adelaide sides actually have a good shot at making finals. But yeah, Crow's not looking too bad either, although it'll be interesting to see how their form continues in the coming weeks. And then Manuka Oval, GWS versus the Brisbane Lions. There's no surprise with this. I'm obviously going to go Lions here. GWS, they're also mixed. GWS, they've definitely been surprisingly. They've had an okay run as of late, but in my eyes, I just think the Lions are going to be too good for GWS. I'm going to go a 63-point win for the Brisbane Lions. They should absolutely slaughter GWS. Just the Giants, they're like, even though they have an okay record as of right now, like, I still think they're gonna like really tank this year. They're too young. They're too young to really compete in my eyes. I mean, they do have some veteran leadership. Obviously, Toby Green and Himmelberg, and also Tom Green has looked really good. But I just think GWS, they're just not finals worthy in my eyes. I'd say I give it about another year for them to build, and then I think they could have a shot at being a final side again. But yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go Brisbane to beat GWS by a huge margin. They should beat. They should absolutely get the job done. And yeah. And then at GMHBA, it is the grand final rematch. It's a rematch of the previous grand final, Geelong versus the Sydney Swans. Surprisingly, a lot of people going Geelong here, since obviously they've had a very strong record at GMHBA Stadium the past couple of years. But even with that, the Swans have definitely had a very strong numbered record at GMHBA as well. As I think for a few years, like the Swans are like the only side to beat GWS at GMHBA for a couple of years, I think. But yeah, both sides they're going to be missing. They're going to be missing key players, Stengel and both Stengel and I believe. Just give me one sec. Yeah, Tyson Stengel and Tyson Stengel and Reece Stanley are both going to be missing for Geelong. And the Swans are also going to be missing key players as well as obviously apparently McCartan is most likely not going to both Tommy and Patty are both not going to be back. I mean Patty, it's obvious, with the concussion and stuff, but yeah, it's going to suck not having Tommy Mack back in. And then there is also some doubt of potentially of Rampy also missing another week, which that will also be another blow. So yeah, and Buddy will most likely also be out this week as well, as he's still recovering from the injury. Although to be honest, we're not even gonna use Buddy this much this year, anyways. I'm bound to go Swans here, but I just gonna have my doubts. I mean, it's the first game since the grand final. We absolutely got smashed in that game, even though we absolutely got smashed in that game. And I'm just a little bit concerned of how our form can go heading into this game. I mean, obviously we have one of the youngest lineups heading into this game if we remain unchanged. We're gonna have we have a massive young lineup, but I mean we did beat Richmond last week with our lineup. But I still think there still should be some overview on some stuff. I feel like Will Gold should be replaced by Aaron Francis in my eyes. Just make some more adjustments, get some of our key players back. I know Ryan Clark has an opportunity to come back. He looked pretty good in the VFL matchup. But yeah, I feel like we could use players like Angus Sheldrick. I'd say we keep Corey in. Corey was actually pretty solid in his debut. Yeah. I feel like we should give some opportunities for Francis, Sheldrick, and obviously get Ryan Clark back in. But even with that, I want to go Swans here, but I kind of feel like I'm kind of worried that we're going to have a little bit of rust from the we're going to have a little bit of paranoia from the grand final. So I'm actually going to go Geelong here. So this will be the first time I tip against the Swans this year. And I'm actually going to say it'll be close. I feel like it could be a 9-point... It'll be a 9-point game that goes in Geelong's favor. But I mean, anything can happen. Alright, University of Tasmania, Hawthorn versus the Crows. No doubts about it. I think Crows should win this game. Just Hawthorn are absolute garbage this year. I'm going to say a 37-point win for the Crows. And then Carlton versus St. Kilda at Marvel Stadium. I'm going to go St. Kilda on this one. I think they can pull off an upset here. I know Carlton. I think Carlton's definitely a really good team this year, but I just have that feeling that St. Kilda could really brew something here. Like, I think it's possible. So yeah, I'm going to go St. Kilda to actually win by 10 points in a massive upset. Gold Coast versus North Melbourne. I'm definitely going Suns here. Just North they have a bright future ahead of them with Clarko on their side, but I just don't think well, actually, I'm actually going to go North here to beat. I'm going to go another upset here. I'm going to go North to beat Gold Coast. So yeah, change of mind here. I think it's really possible. Like, I know the Suns, they've been so and so, but I just think their performances have still been pretty poor so far. So I'm going to go a 17-point win for North Melbourne in an upset. The MCG, Melbourne versus Richmond, no surprises here, going D's. And the D's, I'm going to have them win by a big margin as well. Actually, you know what about the Swans? Fuck it. I'm going to go Swans. Fucking Papley's going to kick fucking 6. Like, that's all I gotta say. Yeah, fuck it. Like, we're gonna fuck them pussies. Yeah, just take one for the bullet. Take one for the bullet, of course. But I mean, Geelong can definitely give us some competition next week. But I just have that feeling, in me that we'll get revenge. And then finally, Collingwood versus Essendon. No surprises, going Pies. I mean, Essendon have been a fantastic side as of late, but I just think Collingwood are going to be too strong. I'm going to go Pies by a goal in this game. So yeah, that's going to do it for the ladder. St. Kilda, that's going to do it for the ladder. I'm not even going to freaking say it. Since I don't want to sound like the freaking narrator, Peppa Pig. But yeah, there you go. There's the ladder. Hope you enjoyed that. Quite a lot of upsets in my eyes, honestly, which is kind of interesting. So yeah. So anyways, that's the AFL Yank signing out. I hope you enjoyed this. Card in the Swannies. But I mean, who knows? Geelong could probably win. See you later, guys.